Okay, guys, I am back. This is the crypto reviewer. Yes, the crypto reviewer. Now, the crypto we will be reviewing today is nothing other than Akita Inu. Yes, Akita. All right, now, it is currently priced at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, 34, 12, and a 1. It is the ERC20 token. It is, in fact, in the red, down, negative 10.92% over the last 24 hours. I believe it did just have a spike. All right. At the moment, I am not holding any, but I will be getting some Akita. You can believe that. So over the past week, it did. It was in the green, up 70%, which is a very good spike. There has been a lot of spurts happening with the meme coins. Bitcoin is doing well at the moment. Has spurted up to $25,000. Okay. I did call, and say that there will be little spurts happening there and then, between now and the Bitcoin halving. There's going to be little, just a glimpse of what's going to happen, just a little bit of what's going to happen in the future when the Bitcoin halving arrives. Now, Akita is, home of the Akita DAO. The Akita Inu token began as a meme and has now become the center of the Akita DAO's ecosystem. All right. Their page is right now under construction. They want to thank you for your patience while the Akita DAO finishes the new site. In the meanwhile, they encouraged you to read through the Git book, follow them on Twitter, and join the discussion on Telegram. Vitalik Buterin sent Gitcoin DAO millions of Akita tokens, creating a DAO to DAO prisoners dilemma. Now, Vitalik's donation set off a chain reaction of events in both tokenized communities that channeled energy towards both defect and coordinate outcomes, but ultimately resulted in both communities choosing to coordinate. Now, this is the beginning, a gift to Gitcoin. On May 12th, Vitalik decided to do something wild with billions of dollars worth of doggy tokens in his wallet. Now, these tokens were the latest in a long line of tokens sent to him by meme coin founders looking to create a momentum for their projects and ostensibly draft off his legitimacy by showcasing him as a supporter of the cause. Now, in this instance, he decided to send a message and donate the coins to a number of causes he truly cares about, including India, COVID-19 relief, a variety of life extension initiatives, and digital public goods funding. Now, the Gitcoin grants multi-sig was fortunate enough to receive 500 million of a specific token from Vitalik, which was in fact Akita. Now, unlike other tokens, Akita had very little liquidity, with only around 5 million available at its peak. It had also, in the course of just a few weeks, increased its market cap by an order of magnitude in an already frothy market. Now, so at that moment, Gitcoin was unwittingly thrown into an unlikely coordination game with Akita. Immediately, the team got flooded with messages telling them to dump the tokens to front run the Akita community. But that wasn't yet public. Was that in less than a week? On May 25th, these decisions will all be in the hands of the community via the launch of Gitcoin DAO. As such, the Gitcoin core team decided to step back and let the DAO governance decide what to do, ultimately creating a unique tutorial island for the DAO and its necessity. On May 25th, Gitcoin's negative governance token GTC went live as a means of transitioning control of the Gitcoin platform, including the multi-sig that funds it to the community. That process resulted in over 150 stewards applying to help steer the ship and over 20,000 individual holders delegating to them. Now, notably, all of these were members who had already been active in the community. Tokens were only distributed to those that had used the platform over the last 3 years, whether they worked on bounties, funding grants, and more. Now, the top 12 stewards elected to govern Gitcoin as of May 26, 2021 showed a lot of promise. You got Trent.eth, Austin Griffith, Lindy Z, Lefteris Carapestis, Griff Green, Jordan Lyle, Pet3R Pan, Simona Pop, Andre Cronje, Crypto Wanderer, Kenneth NG, and Yalir. Now, and as this group formed and began to coordinate, the conversation quickly turned to the elephant in the room: what to do with the Akita. All right, and $500 million worth at the time of Akita was donated to the Gitcoin community multi-sig. This is an illiquid token, so market selling for the actual value is impossible. Little to nothing is known for the plans of the Akita project. Is it just a meme coin? So holding for a longer period of time may lead to loss of all of its value. They're asking, like, would giving it back make sense? Market sell with this saying negative 98, well, not 98% slippage. Would they keep it or something else? Now, they're asking, what should the Gitcoin community do with these funds? Remember, Gitcoin's purpose is to fund open source and public goods. And now, over the coming days, dozens of suggestions poured in on what to do with the funds, with suggestions ranging from selling all of the tokens at market or even giving 100% of them back to Vitalik. After a couple of weeks, the discussion was distilled into 7 main suggestions by James Wall and the rest of the Fire Eyes crew, which the community then voted on. These were a proposal from Hello Shreyas outlining a short, medium, long-term strategy to sell 10% of Gitcoin's Akita balance and place 90% of its Akita balance in a Sablier contract unlocked over 2 years. The second proposal from Castal proposing the Git community use Akita as part of the next quadratic matching pool in current and future rounds. The third proposal from Lightnode to deposit 100% of Akita tokens to the base market. Now, the proposal number 4 from Relic to burn all Akita tokens held by the Gitcoin multi-sig except for 5% and leaving 5% to stimulate progress between both communities. Proposal number 5 from Crypto Wanderer to burn 100% of Akita tokens to 0x0. The sixth proposal from TJ Rush, proposing the Gitcoin community return the Akita funds to their source Vitalik sending address. Proposal number 7 from Android Lloyd to liquidate 100% for ETH. The winning proposal eventually was to find an effective way to liquidate 100% of all Akita. So here's what happened next. What happened next was a surprise to many in the Gitcoin community and a strong reminder that everything that happens in crypto is by default a public multiplayer game. The Akita core dev team took fast, decisive action and responded by recommending that their community sell all of their Akita and even threatened to fork Akita to cut Gitcoin out of the allocation. So they said, dear Akita holders, this is an official announcement from the Akita network and Polarful. This is what they recommend doing. The Akita network and Polar Fox Labs teams have always been striving to be honest and transparent with the people who decided to put their trust in us or in them. So they are not going to keep this hidden from the community. A snapshot of the current Akita holders was taken 5 minutes before the announcement they gave was first published. 7:45 UTC. They advise selling all your Akita tokens right now and trade them for stable coins. What will come next will depend on Gitcoin's behavior. If Gitcoin decides to sell all their tokens, even with the price crash, we will encourage you to buy the dip afterwards. If, however, Gitcoin decides to not sell all their tokens and waits for investors to buy the dip in order for them to sell again, they will create an Akita token and use the snapshot to airdrop as many new tokens to everyone as they have previously. Regardless of what happens, they will keep you updated on the group. So the way forward, they thank you for your trust in them. Those past few months have been an adventure like none of them could have predicted. A wild ride. The whole Gitcoin situation is seen by the team as just another obstacle on the way. It is not the first they've encountered and will not be the last. They are not abandoning Akita. They are going to go through difficult times, but they will come out stronger than ever. They think their rightful place is there, and as such, they will not be going anywhere. The teams will keep working on their respective projects. DreamSwap will still be released, although it might take a bit more time given the upcoming validity of Akita, the Polar Fox decentralized exchange on the Avalanche block. All right. is one of the core teams or projects developed by the team behind Akita. In addition to the proposal to fork Gitcoin out, the Akita community also began loudly protesting the outcome, even creating some memes that they had become Gitcoin's prisoners. It appeared that the Akita community's main complaints were as follows. The number one, the Gitcoin governance process being so new was not clear enough to them. Number two, the Akita community did not have a say in their governance. Number three, there was no upside for either party in the outcome as interpreted, only mutually assured destruction. So this is an interesting turn of events. In summary, number one, the Gitcoin DAO had voted to unwind 100% of its Akita position in an open governance process. Number two, the Akita community anxiously follow along, panicked, assuming that any plan to sell such a large percentage of their tokens would send the price to zero. Number three, they decided in a lose-lose scenario to burn it all down and start new. To understand why this happened and what happened next, they need to dive into a bit of game theory. Here's the prisoner's dilemma. Any good student of coordination failures is familiar with the prisoner's dilemma, a type of game that shows why two completely rational individuals might not cooperate, even if it appears that it is in their best interest to do so. The standard dilemma looks something like this. Two members of a criminal gang are interested or arrested and imprisoned. Each prisoner is in solitary confinement with no means of communicating with the other. The prosecutors lack sufficient evidence to convict the pair on the principal charge, but they have enough to convict both on the lesser charge. Simultaneously, the prosecutors offer each prisoner a bargain. Each prisoner is given the opportunity to betray the other by testifying that the other committed the crime or to cooperate in the other by remaining silent. The possible outcomes are if A and B each betray the other, each of them serves 2 years in prison. If A betrays B but B remains silent, A will be set free and B will serve 3 years in prison. If A remains silent but B betrays A will serve 3 years in prison and B will be set free. If A and both remain silent, both of them will serve only 1 year in prison on the lesser charge. In short, each actor has an incentive to defect, but if both players defect, then each is worse off. The rational behavior is to find a way to coordinate and serve less total prison time. Now, Gitcoin's Akita prisoners dilemma. Now, the Gitcoin communities and Akita communities have fallen into a coordination game, and they would need to learn to coordinate and trust each other if they wanted to jointly succeed. Now, we can map out, or they can map out, the exact same prisoners dilemma matrix for the Gitcoin Akita scenario with the following information. Now, the Gitcoin, number one, the Gitcoin DAO had decided to liquidate 100% of the Akita, thereby possibly sending Akita to zero, which is the defect. Number two, the Akita community anxiously following along to the open process, then panicked, assuming that such a large supply of tokens would send the token price to zero, and they took a countermeasure in proposing to fork Gitcoin out, which is another defect. Now let's look at the 2x2 payoff matrix for Gitcoin Akita. Now, Gitcoin Akita, Gitcoin cooperates, Akita cooperates, Gitcoin gets money for public goods funding plus positive sentiment on both sides. Akita defects, Akita forks, Gitcoin gets $0 for public goods plus negative sentiment on Gitcoin's side. Gitcoin defects, Gitcoin gets money for public goods plus negative sentiment on Akita's side. Akita forks, Gitcoin gets $0 for public goods plus negative sentiment on both sides. So DAO diplomacy, what happens next is a true testament to the ability for internet native communities to cooperate almost entirely pseudonymously with no real reason to expect the other party would uphold their end of the bargain. Now, before we dive in, let's remember that they've been talking about Gitcoin DAO and Akita as though they are two entities, but there are thousands of members of both the Gitcoin and Akita communities, all of whom come from different backgrounds, perspectives, and geographies. Moreover, both groups were getting different information from different places. Now, thousands of unique Deegans and Regans were colliding and trying to find a way to coordinate with each other. What a fun and messy coordination experiment. Now, slowly but surely, the two groups began to understand each other. On the Gitcoin side, the author of the original passing proposal, Andrew Redding, came in to clarify the meaning of their proposal to other stewards. Now, the goal was, in fact, to divest 100% of tokens slowly over time in a way that maximized the value of the public goods treasury for Gitcoin. Now, at the same time, Relic, the project lead for the Akita community, invited DAO stewards to do an AMA with the Akita community and the Akita Telegram to help. By doing the AMA, some, not all, members of both communities began to understand the other's position. Now, with new information in hand, the Gitcoin DAO stewards set up a second vote to decide on the mechanism for selling all of the tokens. Now, the second proposal, as of mid-June 2021, the Gitcoin DAO stewards had, number one, openly deliberated about what to do May 25th through May 31st. Number two, voted on proposals in the past one, May 31st through June 5th. Now, number three, met with the Akita community and got in touch with the Akita core team June 7th. And number four, met to discuss the proposal and how to implement it June 11th through June 14th. Now, from the past AMA, it was pretty clear that A, the sentiment of Akita towards Gitcoin was pretty sour, and B, the Akita community was going to fork their token. Now, one might imagine that those two pieces of new information have been grokked in the minds of the Gitcoin DAO stewards as they moved forward, though they were still bound by the proposal that they had passed to completely divest of Akita. Now, a vote was held to decide how to execute on the goals put forward. Andrew wrote the following: after some conversations with the Akita community, it has become clear that the best path to maximize our ETH outcome is to enable some form of participation with them, end quote. And highlights there will be a buyback and burn program that funds the Akita LBP. For every one Akita purchase, X will be burned. Specifics not finalized. The ETH raised here will be put into the LBP with the time of the completion set for 3 months based on the conversations. One proposed the following. Option one, they split the LP tokens as follows: 40% to Gitcoin, 40% to Akita, streamed over the length of the LBP through Seblier, 20% to a charity yet to be chosen. Funds ETH raised will be delivered via Gitcoin post-sale. Option number two, they split the LP tokens as follows: 80% to Gitcoin, 20% to a charity yet to be chosen. Funds ETH raised will be delivered via Gitcoin post-sale. They agreed to burn more Akita via Seblier by streaming to the 0x000 address Y tokens for each X Akita in the LBP. Option number three, they don't split the LP tokens. They agreed to burn more Akita via Seblier by streaming to the OX333 address Y tokens for each X Akita in the LBP. Without a serious burn or a share of the ETH being raised, Akita is not in a position to cooperate. Now, after several more days of debate, the Gitcoin DAO had chosen option one as a means to implement the proposal and exit the position in Akita. Now, the Gitcoin steward Trent Van Epps made the announcement that over the past few weeks, the Gitcoin DAO stewards have worked with the Akita network community to shape a positive sum path forward. Now, this document outlines the LBP implementation previously voted on. They are looking forward to moving forward. And upon the announcement, the sentiment from the Akita community began to turn, and the dev team backed away from their proposal to fork the Akita token. The Akita community would like to say take some time and thank the Gitcoin stewards Trent Van Epps, not Scott Moore, Austin Griffith, and Andrew Lloyd Owaki, and a special shout out to AVSA for the AVSA for the idea. And they want to thank you guys for taking the time away from your projects to help a lost pup. Now, this is how far the story has come. Gitcoin DAO defected. Number two, Akita defected. Number three, Gitcoin DAO coordinated. Number four, Akita coordinated. Number five, DAO diplomacy continues. All in all, not bad for a first test of a system that aims to slay Moloch and define public goods. The conclusion here is by now they're all familiar with crypto tribalism. Token Project A is suspicious of Token Project B. Token Project B thinks Token Project A is illegitimate. They fight it out in a war of memes, shit posts, and flame wars, sometimes escalating in alternatively horrible, dramatic, hilarious ways. But these situations rarely wind themselves down and rarely are differences resolved. Most crypto tribes choose to defect, as Kobe put it best. The tribes are so boring now. The cycle is repetitive and predictable. The tribes, like I said, are so boring now. Conference Tribe 1 is cringe. Evan Van Ness is peak maxi cringe for Tribe 2. The removal of nuance from everything contributes only negatively. Calling everything a scam creates an adversarial environment, instantly critical thinkers at all-time low. Now, this is how ironic that with the world saturated rated with information, today's tribes who choose to defect have such a hard time learning to return to coordination and to more positive sum games, even if that will make everyone better off. Of course, there are exceptions. There are crypto communities that are friendly with each other, for example, like Ethereum and Zcash, but rarely are the crypto communities that get out the pitchforks and later stop doing so unless one of them simply ceases to exist. Now, so how do you get to groups of thousands of degens and to coordinate with one another? Turns out that sending tokens from one ecosystem to another is a great way to do it. When Vitalik sent those tokens to the Gitcoin multi-sig, he was just trying to fund causes he believed in. As he stated on gov.gitcoin, they gave the coins to Gitcoin because they support their work in public goods funding, and they think robust public goods funding institutions are something that the open source and crypto worlds really need more generally. There's a lot of good that could be done for the Ethereum community, for the world at large, and for the Akita community as well, out of having a large and sustainable long-term pool of funds being guaranteed for future public goods funding rounds. The first order effect that Vitalik has desired has more public goods funding for the Ethereum ecosystem. The second order effect of Vitalik's actions was that two DAOs had to scramble to learn to coordinate in a giant postmodern crypto economic DAO versus DAO prisoners dilemma. In a strange way, Vitalik kind of pioneered a new mechanism here. We'll call it the MTT, massive token transfer, by shifting center of gravity of the Akita community into Gitcoin governance. The two communities collided in a major way. Whether these communities create positive sum outcomes for each other and for the world remains to be seen. But one might like to think that if anyone can solve this coordination game, it's a DAO that's dedicated to solving coordination failures, like funding open source software. Now, here's are the action steps. You dig through the Gitcoin Akita situation, level up on coordination and Moloch. Know thy enemy, coordination failures on coordination versus defection, Ethereum Slayer of Moloch. Now, Akita is a very, very promising coin. Like I said, it's the ERC20 token. This is the time that you want to get into something like this. You have been seeing spurts throughout this so-called bear market, which I think we're entering slowly but surely into the bull market that will take place this year. Okay, that will get ready for the Bitcoin halving. As you know, that it is fast approaching, which will be taking place in Q2 of 2024. They will have this in, this is when the price will skyrocket because of the scarcity of Bitcoin. All right. If you can mine less, all right, it's already kind of scarce with 21 million Bitcoins out there. Okay. And to have that HALVE, that's huge. Okay. So what does that tell you about 2023? 2023 is the time you want to be loading up This is the time you want to be stacking up. This is the time you want to start planting your seeds so that when 2024 comes, you will be able to reap what you sow. So it's like when you go out there and you try to ask the average person about cryptocurrency, they will not be able to relay any information to you other than that it may be a scam, which little do they know that crypto is here to stay, all right, and they will be forced into the crypto industry one way or the other once the dollar crashes. You know, I mean, there are scams out there, but these are orchestrated for you to shy away from the crypto industry. All of the orchestrated FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there, that's shying you away, that wants to make you paper hands and want you to sell. Okay, but it's not about time in the market. It's about time in the market. So if you are accumulating constantly, DCAing, dollar cost averaging, you will have and hold a great position once the bull run comes. All right, so you already know that the big dogs, they do not look forward to labor as their way of means of income, but they live off of investments. All right, this is the way to do it. This is how you create time freedom. This is how you create generational wealth when there is blood in the streets. All right, and when everyone is scared, this is the time you want to be loading up. This is the time you want to be buying, because they will turn you to a paper hands, and the big dogs will come in, all of the diamond hands, all right, and they will scoop up your investments, your crypto, at a discounted price. This is something that you don't want because you want part of the wealth as well. All right, it's all about time freedom. All right, all about location freedom. It's all about financial freedom. All right. People live off investments. Now you need to be creating some type of income or dedicating a income strictly to investing in crypto. All right. Whether you want to start a side hustle, a legitimate business, or to even get a second job, but you need to go out there and you need to dedicate a stream of income strictly to investing to create that nest. All right. Now, if you like what you're hearing, I want you to hit the subscribe button. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to turn it blue. I want you to hit that notification bell, as I like to call it, the motivation bell, so that every time I upload a video, you will receive your daily motivation. I want you to share this video, as this video contains valuable information, and I want you to leave a comment in the comment section so that you can receive a special response from the crypto reviewer himself. Now, this is the crypto reviewer, and I will see you on the next video.